Cheap Not Broke fam, what's going on? Everybody, how you doing? Welcome back to Monday Live with Cheap Not Broke. I don't know what we're going to call it, but that's what we're going to call it for now. Hope you had a good weekend. Hope everybody's happy, healthy, and doing well. If you haven't, please subscribe. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Subscribe to the channel so you can stay up to date on what's going on Cheap Not Broke. Because on this channel, we talk all things value. We help you get the most bang out of your buck and get value for your dollar. That's what we're all about. And like I said, I'm your host, Malcolm Hall. Thank you all for coming back. And if you checked out the title of today's show is The Government Stealing from You? Yes, the government is stealing from you, stealing from all of us. They've been stealing from all of us. However, I ran across this interesting word called civil forfeiture. Civil forfeiture. Never heard about it. I was just reading my news because every morning I read the news. I see what can I bring to my people. What can we talk about? What's cheap, not broke? Where can you save some money? Where can you make some money? Or who's taking your money? Because there's all kind of stuff. People doing all these things. But I wanted to look into this and see what was going on. So I said, let me look into see what civil forfeiture is. And I got a definition for us. So look, let's check it out. Let's see what the definition of civil forfeiture is. Let's check it out. So the definition of civil forfeiture, what does that mean? Civil forfeiture allows the government to file a case against property that would not be reachable through civil forfeiture. That doesn't mean much. Such as properties criminals located outside the. That is not the definition I want to look for. Basically, civil forfeiture means this. You do not have to be accused of a crime. They can think you've done a crime, but they can take their money from you without due process, without anything, without charging you a crime, without charging you with the crime, or you go into court, they can take your property, they can take your money. You have to hire a lawyer and get all your stuff back. This is what you have to do. But I ran across this interesting story. This is what really got me on it. This is what I found this story and I said, wait a minute, hold up. This is what they're doing. This is the government, what they're doing to people. Because I already know the government's stealing from people, but I really wanted to get into it because the story really perked my attention and had FBI and all that stuff. I said, wait a minute, what the heck is going on? Let's take a look at this story. Story says, FBI sued after allegedly losing hundreds of thousands of rare coins during a raid. So what happened to this family was basically cut it short. They had their money in a safety deposit box in this bank, and it was raided in March 2021. U.S. private vaults, Beverly Hills-based company. After prevailing in court, the FBI agreed to return their property. Both Don Mellon and Jen Parsons discovered that some of their property was missing, and the suspect the FBI's haphazard raid or sticky fingers to be to blame. So basically, the FBI raided this place, took their property like they can legally do, and they sued, won, and now the FBI can't find them and give their stuff back. So what do? Now they're stuck. So they're trying to get their money back and recoup it. But what I was like, wait a minute, can they do this in the first place? So I've never heard anything about this because I don't have that kind of money. But you can find yourself, when you make money, because everybody, that's what we're all trying to do, hit the lotto, get a lot of money, right? You can find yourself in this situation. Let's see. Pearsons and her husband, Michael Stork, similarly rented a security deposit box in 2017 as a financial safeguard, storing around $20,000 in silver and $2,000 in cash. Now, they did not get all these coins back, like I said. After the FBI seized their property, along with 14 other customers, Mellon and Persons received a notice stating the FBI wanted to keep their property through a process known as civil forfeiture. And that's where I'm like, what is civil forfeiture? I had to go in there and look about it and read about it and see what the heck was going on. But even furthermore, I found someone else who can really explain what civil forfeiture is. Because I'm like, look, I want to give everybody a good definition of what civil forfeiture meant. So I said, what is civil forfeiture? If you just joined the program, to my one viewer, civil forfeiture is what we're talking about. The government is taking your money and they can legally do it. They can take all your money from you. There's nothing you can do about it. However, I found this gentleman who said he breaks it down really, really nice for us. So let's take a look at what he has to say, because what he has to say makes a hell of a lot of sense.
Civil forfeiture is a legal process that allows the government to take and permanently keep someone's property without charging them with a crime, let alone convicting them of a crime. Civil forfeiture.
Stop right there. The man said they can take your property without charging them with a crime or convicting them of a crime. So that means you can come home, your piggy bank, all the stuff in your house is gone. FBI took it. You might be scared to make the phone call. You might feel like you've been selling dope. You might feel like you've been running hoes. No, you didn't do none of that.
A new Planet Fitness is now open near you, and you can join for just $1 down and $10 a month.
Stop it. Look, So let's carry on.
Cancel anytime. We're talking a clean and spacious,
You see,
judgment-free
I
zone.
hate
And
these ads. These ads. I sick. These ads. They're really. See. Oh my God. Where? Oh my God. Look at it. This is bad. This is bad. Let me go back to the article. Man, I should have stayed and let it play all the way out. But civil forfeiture. Let me go back to it. This is not how we wanted to do business. Here we go. Right here.
a new Planet Fitness is now open near you, and you can join for just
I had all this set up. So this wouldn't happen. But
$1 down and $10 a month.
we just got to watch them.
Anytime. We're talking a
We should
clean and
please watch this
spacious,
real quick.
judgment-free
But this
zone.
stuff is
And
really
brand
good.
new
It's really, really good
Join
what this guy's
today.
talking about. So
Civil forfeiture is a legal process that allows the government to take and permanently keep someone's property without charging them with a crime, let alone convicting them of a crime. Civil forfeiture is inherently abusive. It involves members of the government, the justice system, who have a financial bias. They have a profit incentive to try to go out and seize someone's property and forfeit it because it ultimately goes into their coffers. That violates due process. It violates the Constitution, and it's absolutely wrong. People should not be treated like ATMs, and that's what civil forfeiture encourages the government to do.
bam. So there you have it. They steal your money. This right there, the man said it. This encourages the government to steal your money. And the crazy part is you got to hire these lawyers to get your money back. And these lawyers are expensive. It costs a lot of money. Most people don't even go for it. I read like maybe 2% of people go for trying to get their money back because they can't afford it. So if you get in a situation, I mean, this can happen to anybody. And you see they're trying to get rid of cash. So let's say we go to a cashless system and they start doing these things. What are people going to do? You can't even get a lawyer to fight. You know how hard it is to fight and how hard it is and expensive to fight the government? Super expensive, super hard. But hey, that's what they do. Let's go. Where's the rest of it?
In the federal system, it's between 80 and 96% of all property owners do not try to contest the forfeiture. And the reason for that is because there's a process called administrative forfeiture that is essentially a legal maze. It's very difficult to navigate, and you have to go through that process before you can get into court. The administrative forfeiture process is
expensive. Basically, what he said, it's going to cost you a whole lot of money. You're going to spend you tons of dollars to get it and try. You may not even get your stuff back. So yeah, is the government robbing you? Yes, they're robbing you. They can literally rob you. There's nothing you can do about it. Then you got to pay taxes and all these other fees, speeding tickets. They're always hitting you in your pockets. So what do you do about this? I don't really know. I really don't have the answer. I mean, basically all you can do is get a lawyer, but this is something you should be aware of because if something happens to you, you'll know what it is because you wake up one day and your money's gone. Like, you should check your bank account every day. The banks steal money. They'll hit you with some fees, all kind of crap. I read an article maybe 2 weeks ago. The bank, they made a mistake and the bank like withdrew like people's accounts were $20,000 negative, all this other crazy stuff. You got to check your accounts. You got to be on top of this stuff because the government steal from you, the bank will steal from you, people steal from you. You got to watch your money. You got to take care of this stuff. Cheap, not broke, because look, if nobody's watching your money, who's going to watch it for you? They're going to take it from you. And as you see, the government take it. Now, I don't think this is just the rich people's problem. Those people had $20,000 and $2,000 in cash. That's not necessarily rich. I don't know how much money they had, but I don't know if this is all millionaires because you got to think about it. If they're doing this to rich people, they can go get the lawyers. They can afford it, and they can probably go get some money on top of that. So they're probably not bothering those people who can afford to get the attorneys to fight this stuff. But everybody else can't do that. So civil forfeiture is great, man. Look here. Let's go back to that article real quick. I just want to show you this something. Let's just go back and look at that real quick. Shout out to everybody that's watching right now. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Check out the channel. If you hadn't hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. I appreciate it. FBI. So this same family, like I said, FBI sued after allegedly losing $100,000 in coin. They just took coins. All they took was $20,000. Stole $2,000 from her safety. That's not a lot of money. But somebody, let's say they take millions of dollars. This is your college savings. Some of you are saving for your kids, or you got some stuff in there that's of value, some jewels, some stuff like that. You got to fight to get that back. And if you don't have the money to fight to get it back, it's just gone. So they're taking advantage of poor people. I know one of them. So they're taking advantage of people. This is the government. This is the same people that these are the same people that want your votes. These are the same people that your county. These are the people that you got to go for services and stuff. These are the people that take your money from you. So you got to be aware of this stuff. Everybody's out here working hard as hell for their money. busting their butt. And here you go, they can steal and on somebody else's behalf. You don't have to even do anything wrong. These people didn't do nothing wrong. They were just involved with some people who were doing some shady stuff at the bank. And then their security deposits got taken. Just like people, if you got a lot of cash in your car and you're riding around, you may not even sell drugs. You just might have some cash, transported from point A to point B. If you get pulled over by the cops, how can you prove it? You got to be able to prove it. They can take the money. They can take the money. You can't even come in the United States with more than $10,000. Like they really got caps on money to see how it's moving. So you can't even move money like that. And on top of that, they're taking it. So they're always watching, always watching. That's why it's hard to keep cash, because if they take cash, it's really hard to prove it that somebody took it. That's how they get drug dealers all the time. They hit the drug dealers, they take the dope, and they take the money. And what do they do with it? I read at least 3 articles within the last week or two about some people who have been stolen from the police, because there's nothing you can do about that stuff, man. So it's wild out here, man. It's wild. If you haven't, man, go to cheapnotbroke.com. Check out Cheap Not Broke, man. I appreciate everybody going there. I got some new merch for you. Got t-shirts. It's wintertime. It is wintertime. So we got some hoodies. We got Scully's coming up. So I got a whole bunch of new merch. The winter gear is coming up because it is officially fall. So fall is officially here. And I got that new merch coming out for you. If you haven't, go check out the Cheap Champ podcast. Cheap Champ podcast. I got a podcast that I do. I sit there and talk to comedians, business owners about the cost of doing business. We talk about how much it's costing you, because everybody talks about how much money they're making, but they're not talking about how much they're spending. Shout out to my one viewer that's watching. I appreciate you. Shout out for rocking with me. If you haven't, hit the subscribe button, hit that like button. And man, if you haven't got a wristband, drop your address. I'll mail you a wristband. I made some stuff, man, because I got all this merch. I want to make sure all my people are taken care of and they're looked out for. But back to the topic, civil forfeiture. The government can take your money, okay? They're already doing it. Just like auto pay. I'm not a fan of auto pay, because what happens if they take too much money? You got to fight to get it back, and it's very, very hard. And anytime you're dealing with the government or a lot of these other entities, you got to have a lawyer, which costs more money. You don't have the money. Then it's going to cost you some more money to get the money that you just lost back. It's like you don't lose it. You're losing. You're not coming out on the end. You're not coming out on the up end, on the up and up. So that kind of sucks. But it is what it is. These things you got to know about, just like taxes. There's all kind of laws and stuff out here that you don't know about that you're responsible for. And then when things don't go how they're supposed to go, now you get some bill. I remember I watched this video about the people who fly you around, the medevac. When you get hurt, you get in a car accident, they fly you. They're not regulated on how much they can charge you. And when you're in a situation like, you're in a car accident on the side of the road, you can't necessarily pick and tell them, hey, I want to go to this hospital, I want to go there. They're going to take you wherever they want to take you, or wherever they should take you, and you got to pay the bill. And it's life or death. You don't have a choice. So once they do all this, you're stuck with this big old bill. You got to pay it. And you didn't even know about it, but now you do. And then, a lot of people in America are in medical debt. A lot of people who have gotten hurt, had situations, they're in debt. That's not even the government, and the government allows them to do it. So is the government your friend? No. But it can work for you. They're not working against you. They're not working for you. You got to make them work for you. The government's not working for you. You got to make them work for you. Just like you can get food stamps, you can also get grants. You can also get loans from the government to start your business. There's a lot of programs out there, and they also got civil forfeiture. They'll take your money from you. So it can go a lot of different ways. A lot of different things can happen. So, just make sure you stay on top of this stuff. That's why you tune into Cheap Not Broke. That's why you hit that like button, that subscribe button, so I can drop it on you, so I can let you know what's going on. You can stay up with me and watch out, because the government is stealing your money. And on top of that, speaking of government, the banks will steal your money too. Because I'm really, really funny about who I bank with, because they hit you with these monthly fees, and I don't be feeling it. They just randomly charge you surcharges. The bank's hitting you all these damn fees, so they always charge you. You got to pay attention to where your money's going. Check your accounts, check your statements, all these different things, because like I said, they'll take your money. They'll take your damn money. They robbing people. And I'm not going to let them rob me. I'm not going to let them rob you. As long as you roll with Cheap Not Broke, you're not going to get robbed. We're going to make sure that's not happening. So that's what it is. Civil forfeiture. The government can take your property without due process. And here's the thing. Here's what's so crazy about it. How you know? How do you know? You just wake up, your stuff is gone. They said they mailed them a letter. What if you moved? What if you're not home? What if you're on vacation? You don't get this letter. You're not going to even know your stuff is gone. This is wild. Just like Just like when somebody breaks in your car, you call the police. They don't do nothing for you. They don't do nothing about break-ins. Unless somebody's getting hurt, violently beat up, they don't do anything for you. This same government. So honestly, if you don't spend money, the government's not going to work for you. Truth be told, if you're not spending any money, government is not going to work for you. So, hey, pay attention, be on top of it, stay with it. Cheap Not Broke. That's what we're here for. We're here to talk about that. If you didn't know, do stand-up comedy. Also, I'm a comedian. If you haven't been out, come out to a show. Check me out. I got a show this Saturday. I'll put it up on my Instagram page. You'll see where it's at. But I got a show this Saturday. If you haven't been out, come check out some stand-up comedy. I appreciate all of my viewers watching. Hey, if you're watching right now, drop a comment below, man. Let me know. Have you had that with this? Have you ever had somebody steal from you, whether it be a company take too much money, not return it, got hit with a tax bill from the government, or you just had some money taken from you and you had a really hard time to get it back, or you had to spend just as much money that was taken from you to get it back? Because if you send the wrong money, Cash App, all these apps, you send the money to the wrong place, you're not getting the money back. That's why I tell people, hey, look, man, be careful with this Cash App stuff. You send this money to the wrong person, they will not give the money back to you. They're not going to do nothing for you. So be on top of that. Watch out for that stuff, because they are out here and they are on it. But before I go, I want to thank everybody for tuning in and watching the show. And like I said, I'm working on some cool stuff. I'm working on some word on the streets. So I'm trying to get out on the streets, interview some people, talk to some people, because this stuff is real. I don't know how many people know about civil forfeiture. Did you know the government can just take your property and you don't have to commit a crime? You can just be sitting there, mind your business. They take your money. There's nothing you can do about it. It's kind of like taxes. They just take the money. You don't even you don't give a choice. They just take the money and you're stuck. That's how it rolls. So that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. But like I said, check out the podcast, Cheap Champ Podcast. Great podcast. It's on my channel. You can subscribe. We're in the middle of season 3. We will be wrapping up season 3. I got a couple more guests. Then we're going to wrap. Then we're coming back in January for season 4. Got a whole lot of cool stuff on there for you. I got some experiments I'm doing. This week, I will be doing a video on how much does it cost. How much are you making from, how much do the bars make from bottles of wine and different bottles of alcohol? You see like a bottle of tequila. I'm going to show you how much they're actually making off you, because they're making good money. You go out. What I'm trying to show you is, does it really make sense to go out and drink all the time? Because, they're buying these bottles for like $20, $30, and then they're charging you like, a shot's like $16 and stuff. They're making a killing. You can get the same bottle of alcohol and stay at home and not have the risk of drinking and driving. So, hey, appreciate everybody tuning in, everybody watching me, man. We'll be back next week on Thursday. We're going live again on Thursday. I got some new stuff for you. Then we're going to talk about inflation, because inflation is a motherfucker. So inflation is out there. If you haven't, go to my channel, watch my comedy special. I appreciate y'all tuning in. See you next time.